Right guys, here we are then, Rove Motorhomes Gunthorpe, doing the handover video for the Bailey Adamo 69-4 on the 23 reg. So just going to go around it, give you a good idea of how to get on with the vehicle, show you how to use all the bits and bobs. Obviously, a lot of learning you're going to have to, you're going to do yourself anyway. So what you're going to get, you're going to go out in the motorhome a few times. After 1 or 2 goes, you know, it'll all be up there ready for you, and it'll be a breeze from then onwards. But a really nice piece of kit, really easy to use. So we've got the hookup point just here, which is going to charge the leisure battery on the vehicle as well as the solar that's on the rooftop. So obviously good to get that plugged in as well, because if you want to use your high power systems, e.g. your kitchen sockets or your fridge on mains or your heating hot water on mains, then obviously you're going to need this plugged in essentially. But obviously the main point is for the charging of the batteries. If you open the passenger door, that is going to then grant you access to your fuel cap. So if we open this up, and just down here you've got your AdBlue as well. So your AdBlue, you approximately got about 800 to 1,000 miles of range on your AdBlue per fill up, and it's approximately 7 to 8 litres. And then you've got your diesel fill up above, which is just a push-in valve, no key required. Obviously close them off nice and easy, and you'll notice with that little latch just there, sits behind the door, so once the door is closed there's no access to the fuel source. In order to get the bonnet up, you will need to put your key in this slot here, so your driver ignition key, turn it left and then turn it right, and it will release the bonnet. Obviously these are just wing mirror covers. The reason they've got the ridges in there is to try and stop anything hitting this nice glass on the corner. Further down you've got your water fill up. So essentially you get your whale hose, you plug it onto there, and you just click it onto your hose pipe or your tap outside and let it fill. We can then go inside, watch the control panel and keep an eye on how much water is in those tanks as well. To empty your toilet cassette, first and foremost you need to make sure the trap door on your toilet's closed. Then you want to come round to here, and traditionally you'll find it just like this with it in the slot. You want to lift up, pull towards you. There's a nice little handle there we can grab. And then essentially this is just go off the top, look, this little plastic insert trim that just runs down there. And then what we do is we open this up. I tend to stand over it to wedge it in, spin the cap, and then quite simply tilt and pour. The cap is also a measuring beaker, so you can see on the side there it says 2 ounces or 75-60 mil. You want to put your blue liquids into there, tip it straight in, twist it round and put it back. Once you've done that, lift the cassette up, you'll see 2 tracks in there for the wheels to go on. Push them in, and then away we go. This little orange thing needs to be in that little clip there, and now that is your toilet cassette emptied and changed. Coming into the motorhome, then in the rear you've got a 12-volt socket just down at the bottom, which is going to be live off the batteries constantly, and then you've got your 2 30-volt socket just here, which is only ever going to be live when we've got the hookup lead in. Inflation kit into the back. Got your fresh water tank there, because this is how you're going to empty your fresh water. I will show you from inside when we get there with this sliding door, so it's a better visibility. But that is your fresh water tank, and to empty it you need to lift this up, unscrew the top off, and in there's a little chain like a bathtub, and you just pull the plug out and that's it. Hook up lead a bit further down, and if I open the other door I'll show you. You've got a little whale, should be the hose pipe there, so the hose that I was speaking of that you just clip onto that. Around the back then you've got your reversing camera. Obviously you can adjust it and tilt it down if you want to. At the minute it's set as a rear view for driving purposes, but we can tilt that down. Open, around to the top. There we go. Nice tall locker, rail at the top for a bit of wet storage. Obviously got some drain points down at the bottom as well. Nice little blow air vent just there, kicking out some heat. And then this is the hose pipe fitting I was telling you about. So this big rectangular chunk, that goes straight into the point around the other side. Then you can see the green bit there. Click that straight onto your tap, just like we do over there, look. Straight onto that. And then straight onto the motorhome port over there. Let it fill up. So on the vehicle you've got 2 water tanks, a fresh and a waste. So once we've used the fresh water and had a shower, it gets held in a waste water tank. To empty this, we just come down here, pull that lever towards you, and you'll see in a second there's not much in there, but a bit will come out. Look, there we go. And now we're starting to empty the wastewater tank. So we need to do this after we've used the motorhome, we're packing it away. So some people say, oh yeah, it's all part of winterization. No, this is something we need to be doing when we're done using the motorhome every single time. Now that's for your benefit and your benefit alone. You're not going to get any bad smells coming up through your sink and plug holes. You're not going to get any calcium deposits sat in the tank and on the readers in the tank that are going to cause your reading, obviously on your control panel, to be off. It's just good practice that whenever we're done with a motorhome, we go in the garage, we pull out the plug on the fresh tank, we come out here, we pull the lever on the waste tank, and then when I go inside I will also show you to go under this front bench seat and drain your boiler as well. This way we're going to pull all the water off the motorhome, just leaving it nice and dry and ready for the next usage. Again, just we don't want any calcium deposits building up in the tanks, and we definitely don't want it freezing if it's cold temperatures, and third to that, we don't want any bad smells loitering around the motorhome. So next you'll see I've got the gas locker open. So 2-bottle gas locker. This is our test bottle obviously, but I've just got it hooked up and in. So open it on the top by turning it left. To get this to screw in, you turn left. To release it, you turn right. And obviously, as soon as it's in there, turn the gas bottle on, plug the vehicle in, and then it's got both powers of fuel going to it. So you've got your gas and your electric all going. The gas bottles always need to be strapped in, and they always need to be turned off when travelling as well. Further down you'll notice here you've got a Truma boiler vent. So all this is, if you put my hand under there now, nice hot air coming out, and that's because we've got the boiler running on gas. So when you're running this vehicle on gas, it needs oxygen to burn in the boiler, so this tube will suck oxygen in, burn it in the boiler with the gas, and then it will also vent out the fumes just here as well. Obviously one thing I'd be cautious of and mindful of is your living room windows just there. So if you've got that open and it on the gas and the wind's blowing it in, obviously just make sure, obviously that's not happening too much, it won't be a very nice smell, but it's the same problem with all motorhomes. You've got to have the vent somewhere, and obviously you always want your windows open as well. Overall though, that is the full exterior of the motorhome. We'll head on inside now so I can show you the control panel, the fridge and other things working. But always remember to turn your gas bottles off when you're travelling. Obviously opposite thread on gas, left is tight, right is loose, and always strapped in place. Wastewater tank just down there with the release valve just under there that you pull towards you, push it back to close it. Fresh water tank is in the garage along with your whale hose. It's going to fill your water up, and obviously you empty that by pulling the plug. Toilet cassette, lift the orange lever, pull it out, spin the cap off, tip it forward, put your blues in the cap, shove all that back in. Obviously that's your water changed, obviously water fill-up's just there, hook up point for charging batteries and to power your high powered systems in the vehicle, and add blue and diesel fill-up down at the front just to round off that external handover. Going inside next of all then, no point messing around, we'll jump straight on in. Nice and easy vehicle to work with. So first and foremost, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move some cushions and the table over so I can show you your boiler drain valve. Nice location to have the boiler, so whoever likes the warm seat, make sure you're behind the driver, because the heat from the boiler will come up through the woodwork and through the cushions and you'll feel it nicely. So Truma Combi 4E boiler then, just there, you see that? Obviously roundabouts the boiler, you've got a couple of cables down there we need to be mindful of. Just trying to see if I can get to the boiler drain valve from where I am. I may have to do a separate video for it just so I can get my hands on it. But obviously good to know the location of the boiler. Obviously you've got your passenger seats that fold up. You guys were, well, you was at it doing this one whilst you was here with me just the other day, so you know exactly how they work. I will get to your boiler drain valve, I promise you, but I could do with getting some stuff moved and then picking the camera back up and doing another video, so I'll send that separately. Your heating hot water, so I'll put it back to one time so you can see a little bit better, is on the Truma iNet control panel. It says iNet ready because you can put a Truma box in the cupboard and then get Bluetooth from your phone and have an app. So to start with, this is a dial, and sorry about that guys, just got a phone call come through in between. So your heating control panel, you just want to tap it to wake it up. You got a little dial here, look, that brings you through all your settings, and you can click it to enter. So first and foremost, we've got the thermometer inside the motorhome, which is the heating. So if we tap into that, we'll set the heating to if 20 odd degrees today, that should come on nicely. Next to that, you've got your water temperature, eco and hot, both 70 degrees hot water. One just gets there quicker than the other. Then you've got your boost, which gets there much faster, but in doing so, in order to boost, it's borrowing power from your heating. So just bear in mind your heating is going to be less powerful if you are running it on the boost. Next to that, you've got your fuel source, so gas, mix one, so gas and low power electric, or gas and high power electric, or low power electric, or high power electric on its own. So we can have them running together or individually, completely up to you. Your next one's your fan. So on there, we're going to click into there, and we can have high or eco fan speeds. So put it onto high for the most efficient, and then down to the bottom here we've got a timer. So if we click into that, we can have a 8 hour timer. So basically all the settings we've just chose are going to stay on for the next 8 hours. To go back, this one here is a daily event timer, so we can have it come on at 6 minutes to 11 every single day. And then down at the bottom there you've got your settings, so we can offset the internal to external temperatures, we can choose centigrade or Fahrenheit, we can change the screen brightness, we can change what hour clock we use, what language you read in, obviously an index is normal, then you reset. Now reset's always good to know where it is, because if you ran out of gas for instance, and then say you could change your gas bottle over, you will have to reset the system before then using it. So you run out of gas, you get a little triangle come up here that will say fault WA55H probably. If that fault comes up, obviously just change your gas bottle over, come inside, do a reset, and then back to normal. On the alternate side of the motorhome, you've got your control panel, so it's already on at the moment. The little plug in there identifies we're plugged in and powered up. I can go through the settings. So to go into settings, you click enter. You'll notice that you've got all these little arrows, so display sound notifications, so like sounds for instance. If I click enter there, it'll now show me more settings like your key tones and alarms. We can go back up to sounds and click enter again to get rid. And to come out your settings, you've got to go to save and exit and click enter again. Scrolling through, you've got your fill tank, so we can use, as you know, the whale point on the outside of these. You do have a normal hose that goes with it, in which you don't need to click anything, you just put the hose on and fill and away you go. But you do have your fill tank just in case you have your wild camping kits, which will liven the 2 prongs on that insert just there, so that we can have submersible pumps fitted. Down from there, you've got your battery select, wastewater level, fresh water levels. So like I'm saying, when you've got your hose pipe in, filling it up, we can come in here and keep an eye on that. External temperatures, internal temperatures, leisure current, we've got the vehicle voltage, leisure battery voltage, and then we're back to normal. So you've got your on and off. Scroll through all your screens. You've got your enter button just there. This is a little isolator switch for your fridge, so we can turn it off and on. If you look, fridge off, fridge on. Just above here we've got the mains light switch, which I call the pub switch, because if you notice, if I zoom out, tap that, all the lights go out, tap it again, they all come back on. So we can just click that rather than going around individually switching all the separate lighting systems off. We can just switch it all off in a oneer. And then you've got your water pump up at the top. Obviously we know not to turn your water pump on unless you've already checked through here and you've gone, yep, we've got 32% water in, I can turn my pump on, we've got water in the system. This one here is going to lift your table up and down, so when you're making up the bed in the front, you can drop that table all the way down. Obviously at the minute I've got it spun in some very weird location, a weird way, and that's just simply so that we can get access to the boiler when I can show you your drain valve. Above there you just got some various light switches. So the left one does over the fridge, the other left one does around the bed, right one does the bed, then your far right one does your porch. You've got some USB chargers just there, which will work off the battery. You've got a 12 volt point up there and a 230 as well, with your TV aerial point ready for if you want to put a telly up. Your fridge then, so what you've got in your fridge, you've got this little blue thing you can flick around there, which just means that I can put this and it still leaves a gap down the side, if you notice, so it's aerating the fridge, or we can have it that way, either or. Obviously freezers up at the top, nice and clean, nice and cold if I do say so. And then up at the top you've got your control panel and how you wish to use it. So at the minute it's in sleep mode. If I tap this, it'll wake it up, so it's saying we're on hook up at full temperature. So to change these, I hold this little white square in and now we're flashing, so I can go on battery, I can go on gas, and then once you select with the same button, I can then change the temperature of the fridge like so and select, and now it's going to light on gas. Or what you can do is you can have it on the automatic mode. So if I flick again, have it on the A, click enter, enter on the temperature, it's just going to choose the best supply every time. So if we're plugged in like we are now, we'll go to hook up. If we turned everything off and unplugged, it'd then obviously go over to the gas. And then if we turn the gas off and turn the engine on, it'd then go on to battery. Now, the battery side of things, it's always worth mentioning, the battery will never reduce the temperature of this fridge. It'll only maintain what current temperature you've got the fridge at. So if you set this vehicle up, you're going away at 12 midday, I'd have it on the drive at 11 o'clock on gas or electric, cooling that fridge down, and then just about to set off, flick it onto battery, and the battery will maintain whatever temperature it's managed to get down to in that hour's lead up to setting off. Cooking wise, very much as what you know already. Turn these on the left, this is your electric hob, so that'll get nice and warm. Obviously you've got an igniter over here, so if you push in, just easy as, oh, hold on, I'm gonna have to burn it a little bit, get the dust off them thermocouples. And I think I may have, come on, there we go. Same with all of these, so if I let go now, it'll go straight off. Hold it in a little bit, let it burn any residue off them thermocouples, and now we're all good, staying on nicely. You will probably have to do this when you get back to your motor. I'm just going to turn the electric hob off. Yep, that's nice and warm. So just to show you as well, you've got your grill here. You might struggle to see this, and I'm just trying to hold it. There we go. I'm just trying to hold it as well as light it at the same time. So that's just off this one just here, grill at the top. For your oven, you want to be using this one just here. Pull that down. Hold on, I'll have to show you after it's lit. Just like so. And that's just this one on the right hand side just there. So lit really nicely. What you will notice is, oh sorry, I've not lit this front one. I'm just like that front one, so I know you've seen it going. Come on. There we go, nice and lit. So one thing you'll notice, you've got this little strap up here. So what we can do is we can put the hob glass down, steady away. We can undo that little pinch button there and put this down. So now we've got some more usable worktop space. Let's see if we've got some of this through. See if it's got warm yet. Yeah, so if I put this down, you'll see the steam coming off in a second. There you go, you should just see it on the right hand side, just there. It's hard to see on camera, I'll be honest with you. But yeah, nice hot water coming through there. You can hear the pump running now, filling that boiler back up. There we go, filled the boiler back up. In the cupboards in the kitchen then, nothing to show there. You got a little plug socket at the top we can use, little mug holder on the right there and there. In the kitchen itself, let's have a quick check. So you got your grill handle and just some protector plates. Click that in. Let's have a look down there, nice little plate holder. Obviously that's the back of the gas locker. Above here then, have we got anything up there? No, just a nice empty storage cupboard. You got your carbon monoxide and smoke. To drop the bed, you just want to click on your button, like so. The bed's going to lower down. You can stop it absolutely wherever you want, just by letting go, like so. Obviously I'm not going to drop it all the way down, but I just want to show you it's nice and clean up there. You've had a nice job. Got your seatbelt system running through the roof, lifting it up and down really nicely, and then hold the up button, and up and away we go. Come on. And then lights back on, look. Just wanted to show you that obviously the switch had been sorted, because when I was out here, what it was is I didn't have the bed high enough up. It wasn't even the switcher, I just not got the bed all the way to the top, so when we did move it a little bit, it put it all the way to the top to get the lights back on. But just wanted to show you that fully operational, as you can probably understand and imagine. You got two floor tiles just here. This one is just going to get you access underneath the motorhome. You've got some push connector pipes down there on your water system, so they need to be accessible if they ever need change in the future. Down here is going to grant you access to your wastewater tank, so just for cleaning purposes. If I lift this up, there should be a black tank with the, yep, there you go, with lid on it. We can open and screw that off. And then obviously, because what this is your water readers just here. So obviously for cleaning your water readers, to make sure they stay accurate, once a year, clean your water tanks out, just get your hand in, give it a swirl round, and then obviously fill the tank up with water, and then just open the tap out, give it a good clean once now and again. You got some storage under here as well, which is all nice. Some good pressure coming through in the back too, on the hot and the cold side. Can we get into this? Yep. There we go, you got your little plugs in the cupboard. LED lights up at the top. On and on with the pull cord. You got your toilet cassette. So if we lift this up, you'll see if I press the blue button on the back, and if you listen, it's the same water pump, exactly the same sound as when you run your taps, because it's the exact same water pump. So empty it out, grey lever, round to the side, opens the trap door, grey lever to the other side, closes it. We can move that out the way to make more floor space. We've got a massive cabin of storage in here as well. Nothing to really show you in the cupboard but storage, but again, good to know. I think your aerial might be actually up there. Yeah, look, your aerial booster's up there. So on the top left, there's a switch on there. You'll see now I've turned it on and off. So just make sure you know about that. So we always keep ours turned off, because you know, a standby light's a standby light. It's going to drain your battery one way or the other. Obviously shower, normal as per usual, and just turn it on. I'm not going to run it over all this and make it all messy. We've seen the water running through and the pump going, which I think was the main idea. And then just in here, as I said, you've got your fresh water tank. So if I lift this up just like that, you've got your fresh water. You can see the little ball and chain down there to pull the plug out. It's all connected to the lid, and then obviously to put it all away, you slide this in and just turn left and screw it all back up. Come on, there we go, now it'll start screwing in. So you want to screw that back up tight like so, put the lid back down. So that's how we get into the fresh water tanks. I know I mentioned on the external video that I'll be coming in to show you that. Other than that, guys, I'm going to do your boiler drain valve video just next. The cab's very self-explanatory. You do have some 12-volt fuses just down here at your fuse board with your main RCDs. There's some spare fuses in a bag there for you. It's all labelled up exactly what they do, top and bottom, but good to know where they are. And then obviously your cab is your Ford cab, as you well know. You've got automatic headlights down there as well. You've got cruise control and a limiter on the steering wheel, fully automatic. Really nice piece of kit. Reversing cameras just up top there too. But I really hope you enjoy the motorhome, guys. It's a beautiful bit of kit, and I'll just get this boiler drain valve location and empty video done for you, and then we'll get it on its way. But I hope you enjoy it, guys. It's been a pleasure working with you so far. If you're ever in our neck of the woods again, nip in and have a brew, come see us. But wish you all the best with the Adamo, guys. I've located it, and it's just a little bit tighter than usually I'm used to. So if I get my phone just down here, so I'm just at the boiler, driver's seat side of the boiler. You'll see that little junction box, and just there, you'll see a little lever. Look, if I pull that up, I'm now draining the boiler. Push it down. That's the boiler now closed, and you can hear the pump filling it back up. So again, pull to the top so it's vertical to drain your boiler. Push down flat. So obviously close off that tap just there. And one more thing just worth mentioning, it just came to my mind as I was finishing my last video and starting this one. But to turn this control panel off as it's doing now, you have to push this button in for 5 seconds and it'll come up saying off, to which it will then turn off. Which is always good practice every time you're done with a motorhome. Same with the fridge, always turn it off before you turn your control panel off by holding that button in. Obviously just before we travel, it's always good practice to get things like this and put it on the floor so it doesn't fall out and crack your shower tray. Make sure all your bit areas are locked up properly by putting your clips on like so. Oh, not like so, I didn't really push it on very hard. Again, just make sure your pans and grill pans are out the oven for rattling. Make sure all your cushions are back together, and then what we can do is going to go around switching everything off individually, and then hold that button, it'll say master off. Now all the power's off, all that's left to do is unplug the vehicle with a hook up there, go to the gas locker, turn the gas off, and then go around and lock in all the lockers up, and we are ready to roll. Enjoy, guys.